welcome back to my channel. So before beginning today's video, I would like to wish you all a very happy new year. And let's just pray and hope together that this new year brings us all the happiness, joy, health, prosperity and peace. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make chunky slippers, and for that we are going to need this chunky yarn. I've got this from a local store, but this is very similar to the Bernard blanket yarn, and I'm using a 7mm hook for this video. So to begin with, we are going to make a slip knot. For that we're going to make an X on our fingers. So I have a detailed video on how to make a slip knot, and I'll be linking it in the description box below in case you don't know it. So now we are going to make a slip knot nice and tight. After making a slip knot, we are going to chain 2. So this is our first chain and this is our second chain. Now we're going to make a single crochet in that first chain right over there. So we're going to insert our hook in the first chain, yarn over, pull through. We'll be left with 2 loops on a hook. We are going to yarn over and pull through both the loops. Now I have actually misplaced my stitch marker, so I'm just going to go ahead and use a bobby pin to mark the stitch, but we have to mark this first stitch. As it is chunky yarn, we are gonna need stitch markers. So here I've marked the first single crochet, and now we are going to make 7 more single crochets in that chain. So in total we'll have 8 single crochets. So this is our third one. Oops, the strand is coming in between. This is our fourth one. As you can see, it's chunky yarn. It's already, after making a few stitches, it has already become quite difficult to locate the first stitch. So it's always better to use stitch markers when you're using chunky yarn. And this is our last single crochet. Now we are going to insert a hook in the first single crochet that we had made, and instead of a slip knot, we are just going to make another single crochet in that stitch. So we'll yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through both the loops. And now we are going to mark this stitch as our first stitch. So we'll just mark this with a stitch marker or a bobby pin. And now we are going to make another single crochet in that same stitch. So our row 2 is basically going to be 2 single crochets in one stitch. So our row 1 was 8 single crochets, and our row 2 is going to be 16 single crochets. So now usually when you go to row 2, we make a slip knot and we chain 1 and we go on to the row 2, but here we are just making a spiral instead of making a complete circles. Now we have finished our row 2 as well, and now we are going to make a single crochet in that first stitch that we had marked, and we will mark this as our first stitch of row 3 now. So we'll just mark the first stitch of our row 3, and we are going to make 1 more single crochet in that same stitch. Now in the next stitch we are just going to make 1 single crochet Now again in the next stitch we are going to make 2 single crochets. So this row is basically 1 single crochet in one stitch and then 2 single crochets in the next. So we're going to make 2 single crochets in alternate stitches for the third row. Now for our fourth row, we are going to make 1 single crochet in that first stitch of our row 3 over there. So we are going to make a single crochet in that stitch. We are going to again mark that stitch with our stitch marker to identify the first stitch of our fourth row. Now we are going to make a single crochet in the next stitch and a single crochet in the next stitch as well. So now onwards we are just going to make a 1 single crochet in each stitch. So now we are no more going to increase it, and like that we are going to make a total of 19 rows. So we are already done with our 3 rows and this is our fourth row, and we are going to make 15 more rows like this, just 1 single crochet in each stitch. So I'll be finishing my 19 rows and I'll see you once I'm done with my 19 rows. So here I am done doing my 19 rows, and this is basically the front part of our slippers. So this part, and now we're going to make this back part of our slippers. Now for the next row we are going to chain 1 and we're going to turn around our work. Now we're going to make a single crochet in that first stitch, and we'll make another single crochet in the next stitch, another in the next stitch. So basically we are going to make 20 such single crochets. So we'll have a row of 20 single crochets. Now I'll continue doing this and I'll see you at the end. Now after making 20 single crochets, we are going to chain 1. So this is going to be the back part of our shoe, like that. So for the next row we are going to chain 1 and turn around our work again. Now we're going to make a single crochet in the first stitch, and we are going to continue making single crochets. Again at the end of our row we're going to chain 1, turn around our work, and again start a row of single crochets. So in total we have to make 8 such rows. So we are on our row 2 and we have to make 6 more rows of such single crochets. Now I'm going to complete my 8 rows of single crochets and I'll see you once I'm done. So here we are done with our 8 rows of single crochet, and this is how our slipper is looking like. Now we have to make a row of single crochets on top of that slipper. For that we're going to chain 1, and on the edges we are going to make a row of single crochets so that our edge looks nice and clean. So we'll just make a single crochet in each of the stitch. Once our edging is done, our slipper is going to look like this. Now we're just going to sew in that part. For that, we're going to turn our slipper inside out so that the wrong side comes outside, and we are going to sew in that end with a row of single crochets. Now for that, we are going to hold our edges, ends like this, and we are going to insert our hook in that first stitch on both the sides. We are going to yarn over and pull through now. Pull through both the stitches. We'll be left with 2 loops on a hook. We are going to yarn over and pull through both the loops. Again, in the next stitch, we are going to insert a hook through both the stitches, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through both. Again, in the next stitch, we are going to insert through both the stitches, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through both the loops. So before doing this, make sure that you turn the slipper inside out. So once the joining part is done, we are going to sew in all the ends, and we are again going to turn our slipper inside out. And once our chunky slipper is ready, it should somewhat look like this. Thanks for watching my video. If you do like my video, please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Happy crocheting!